can. We're on. Is Kadarius on his way? I'll wait for him. That's right. We need you, Kadarius.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's good to be needed.
Yes. Good evening and welcome to the City of Costa Mesa Planning Commission meeting for Monday, September 23rd, 2019. Call this meeting to order and ask our Commissioner Colbert to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Commissioner Colbert. Julie, roll call.
Chair Jericho absent. Vice Chair Harlan.
Here.
Commissioner Colbert.
Present.
Commissioner Russell absent. Commissioner Torje.
Here.
And Commissioner Zick.
Here.
Okay, I understand we don't have any announcements or presentations, so that brings us to public comment. To ensure fair and equal treatment of all who appear before the Planning Commission and to expedite city business, speakers may be limited to 3 minutes during public comments to speak on any item within the Planning Commission's jurisdiction which is not listed on the agenda. This time may be extended for good cause by the chair or by majority vote of the Planning Commission. In accordance with Costa Mesa Municipal Code Section 2-64-1, no person in the audience shall engage in disorderly, disruptive, disturbing, delaying, or boisterous conduct. That goes for the 3 people in the audience here. Anybody have any public comments this evening? Please come to the dais. Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to Planning Commissioner comments and suggestions. Let's start with Commissioner Colbert.
No comment.
Commissioner Zick.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Commissioner Torje.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that this Saturday is Costa Makers. It's taking place at the Triangle or the Triangle Square at Costa Mesa First United and is sponsored by the city as well. All proceeds from Costa Makers will benefit Ray Elementary School's art program. It's going to be a great event of different artists in Costa Mesa. So I just wanted to announce that.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Torje. I have nothing, so that brings us to our consent calendar, which there's nothing on that. Taking us to public hearing number 1. Julie?
Public hearing item number 1. Planning application 19-17 for conditional use permit to allow a restaurant and bar with live entertainment to operate after 11 p.m. at the Shops at Mesa Verde Shopping Center, 1555 Adams Avenue, Suite 100. This is a call to report any ex parte communications.
Any ex parte communications, commissioners? Seeing none. Ms. Lee?
Staff is requesting that the Planning Commission continue this item to the October 14th, 2019 Commission meeting.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Are we good? Commissioner Zick?
Move the item.
Any seconds? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, by move the item, you mean continue the public hearing until October 14th, correct, sir?
Yes. So we have just a matter of procedure. The public hearing is open. If we do have anybody from the public who does want to speak on this, you can. If not, you can please hold your comments until the 14th. I'm seeing no one, so okay. I'll call for the question.
That motion carried 4-0 with Chair Jericho and Commissioner Russell absent.
All right, moving right along, the public hearing number 2, Julie?
Public hearing item number 2, tentative parcel map 2019-130 and zoning application 19-78 and PA-19-07A1 is a request to convert an existing building approved for auto storage to a one-lot airspace subdivision for industrial condominium purposes at 3080 Airway Avenue, including a request to modify the existing conditional use permit. This is a call to report any ex parte communications.
Commissioners, any ex parte? Seeing none. Mr. Agalupos?
Good evening, Vice Chair and Commissioners. I'm Willie Glupos, an Assistant Planner for the city. As Julie mentioned, tonight we have a proposal for a condo conversion for an auto storage located at the airport district. Specifically, the proposal is for a parcel map to convert an existing building to a one-lot airspace subdivision with 32 storage unit. In order to accommodate this, a minor conditional use permit will be required to amend the existing CUP in order to change the leasable units to ownership units. The property is located beside the airport runway and is surrounded by similar industrial park uses. So as a brief history, on March 25th, 2019, Planning Commission approves conditional use permit for a luxury auto storage with individual private leasable storage units. And in August 27, 2019 of this year, the applicant submits building plans for interior tenant improvements. The plans are still in plan check and have not been approved. June 5th, 2019, the applicant submits a parcel map and amendment to the CUP. At the time when the CUP was originally proposed, the applicant expressed interest for a condo project. However, the applicant was not ready to submit at the time. Since the approval of the original CUP, there has been minimal changes to the existing buildings, such as repainting the facade and updating the landscaping and irrigation. This slide shows the existing interior building. The top two images will be the clubhouse. The image to your lower left is the interior space that will be converted into a storage unit. Industrial condos such as what is being proposed tonight in the airport district is actually not uncommon. In fact, there are at least 4 existing industrial condos within the vicinity. Auto uses are fairly common as well in this general area, such as Eurocar, Crevier, and Tesla. So amending the original CUP from leasable units to ownership unit will actually not change the use and operation. However, a slight modification to the actual conditions of approval is required to reflect ownership units. So there will be no change in parking, no change in FAR, and there will be no change in the use of the actual storage and clubhouse. The proposal meets, in regards to the actual parcel map, the proposal meets city standards in that there is one lot held in common ownership, such as the clubhouse, drive aisles, landscaping. It provides actually more parking than the required per the entitlement. There has been and will continue to be more site improvements, and the submitted plans will need to comply with California Building Code and California Fire Code. To conclude, a one-lot airspace subdivision with 32 private-owned auto storage unit will not change the use and operation of the existing entitlement. It is compatible with the mix of uses in the industrial and office uses within the area. It supports the city's existing auto industry, attracts similar uses. Conditions of approval will remain with some modifications, as mentioned earlier. the storage unit will not be livable space, and the conditions regarding large events will also remain. The project is categorically exempt from CEQA Section 15301, existing facility. Staff recommends to adopt a resolution to approve parcel map and zoning application subject to the conditions of approval. That concludes my presentation. If you guys have any questions, we can go ahead and answer them for you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Aglupos. Commissioners, any questions of staff? You okay, Commissioner Colbert? Yeah. Commissioner Zick, no questions tonight? Okay.
I have one question.
Oh, Commissioner Torje?
Yeah. Were there, so this, you mentioned the date in March when this was brought up. Were there any issues identified by the Planning Commission at that time relating to this, the original CUP? And when I mean issues, like red flags that we needed to address with the applicant?
I don't believe that the Planning Commission had any particular issues. The primary issues that staff addressed in the staff report that I believe were to the Commission's satisfaction were just preventative measures related to ensuring that the storage units were used for storage purposes. And it was very clear, despite the fact that there is plumbing and a mezzanine inside, that they're exclusively for storage, not for any other use, including residential. The other item that was addressed were the use of the clubhouse in particular, and I believe with the clarifications from the applicant that the clubhouse was to be used really for an owner meeting space only. I believe that addressed the Commission's concerns.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to invite the applicant forward.
Good evening, Vice Chair. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
You may or may not have anything to say, but I just need to ask you one first question, which is: Have you read the conditions of approval, and do you agree with them?
I have, and I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Any other questions? Or?
Great. Commissioners, any questions? Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Okay. Commissioners, do I hear a motion? I'm guessing Commissioner Colbert is motioning. Okay. All right. Any seconds? Okay, Commissioner Torje, too late. Anyone want to comment on the motion or second?
The motion is to adopt staff recommendations, finding that the project is categorically exempt from the provisions of the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, under CEQA Guidelines Section 15301, and to approve the tentative parcel map 2019-130 and the minor conditional use permit ZA 19-78 to amend the previously approved conditional use permit PA-19-07, subject to conditions of approval with a modification of condition of approval number 27 to reflect the language in the updated staff report regarding separation of utilities and associated metering.
All right. I will call for the question.
That motion carried 4-0 with Chair D'Erical and Commissioner Russell absent.
That decision becomes final in 7 days unless appealed to the City Council. Thank you. All right, moving right along. Any departmental reports, public services?
No reports tonight.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mejia. Development services?
Mr. Chairman, just a couple of very quick ones. I wanted the commission to be aware that the City Council will be holding a study session on October the 8th regarding housing issues in the city. And also let you know that tomorrow, and I think the city attorney may speak a little more in detail on this, tomorrow, the County Board of Supervisors meeting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, the Board of Supervisors will be considering the county's proposed group home ordinance, as well as the lease that was, the lease wasn't before you. Excuse me, the lease wasn't before you, but the item that was before your last meeting regarding 2801 Bristol and the counseling use, the Board of Supervisors will be considering the lease for that project tomorrow as well.
Right, thank you, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Preziosi, City Attorney.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Yes, as Mr. Curtis stated, tomorrow at 9 o'clock, the County Board of Supervisors at the regularly scheduled meeting will be considering its own zoning amendment to zoning code to, in essence, adopt regulations for sober living homes that are substantially similar to Costa Mesa's. There are a few differences, but the bulk of it is similar to Costa Mesa's. In fact, almost copied verbatim for many of Costa Mesa's provisions.
Thank you, Mr. Preziosi. Well, that about wraps it up, people. So I'd like to adjourn the meeting till our next meeting, which is October 14th, 2019. Thank you.
What's that? I know. Oh, by the way, I didn't get your email. What was it? The small cell. Yeah, you said Dr. Kramer already, or was that the email that you sent last week?
It's actually yesterday.
I know,
Perfect. So I'll just read through it, and so tomorrow you'll have the draft.